All right, back here once again, G Funky Boxing. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell. I'm being joined by a very special guest today. 19 wins, 1 loss, 6 KOs. He's coming back. He's going to be on Top Rank this month on the 13th. Let's give a big hand to Ruben Villa. Thank you for joining us, man.
Yeah, thank you, man, for having me. Just right here in training camp, getting ready for this May 13th fight. So yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. Can't wait to see you, man. You're finally out there. You're on the national stage, and it's gonna be great, man. So, yeah, you already mentioned it. So, I'll just ask you. You got an opponent? Everything's all set to go.
Yeah, we do have an opponent. Like I said earlier, I can't remember his name, but his last name was Lopez. He had just fought Mark Castro on one of the DAZN cards. But yeah, I've been watching tape. Tries to be slick, tries to be smooth, switches stance lefty and righty, and we just pretty much preparing for both and for anything this guy brings to the table.
All right. Yeah, that's exactly. You answered the question that I was going to ask next. Is he an orthodox or a southpaw fighter? So he likes to switch in and out. So, yeah, that's definitely interesting, man. I want to see how if he actually does that against you. you
Yeah, me
know.
too. Yeah, I hope he kind of goes lefty because we've been getting a lot of good lefties over here. I'm training right here at the Top Break Gym in Las Vegas, so we got some good lefty work, but also some good righty work. I've been working with Angelo Leo. Yeah, I've just got a lot of different looks, and I really feel like I'm prepared for anything this guy brings.
Nice. Yeah, I did see some of the pictures you've been sharing, with the one with Angela Leo, and I know that there's a lot of fighters that are training in that top ranked gym over there. So I know you're getting some great work, man. But I want to say first and foremost, and again, give you another hand and congratulations, man, on getting a multi-fight deal with Top Rank. In my opinion, Top Rank is the best promotion in boxing. So I want to ask you, man, what was that feeling like going from like the regional type promotions to now dealing with Top Rank?
Good, like you said, they're at a national worldwide level, and their shows are always big and they're always talked about, and people are always waiting for their next show to come out. And May 13th, it's a pretty stacked card in Stockton, so a lot of good fights, a lot of good up and comers. The G Squad's coming back. We just got Amado Vargas is on the show. They just announced, so a lot of good fighters on the card, and I'm one of them, and I really can't wait to show what I've been working on here. I've been away from home for about a month now, so I'm just hungry and I'm just ready, man.
No, man, I agree with you. The fight is going to be again, guys, May 13th on ESPN Plus in Stockton, California. Now, I'm a Northern California guy. Ruben's from Salinas, which is like Central California. But like he said, there's a lot of guys from the area that are going to be on the card. There's a kid, Joshawn James, who's from my area, Sacramento, is going to be on the card as well. Like he said, Gabe Flores, and then yourself. I mean, it's going to be a good night of boxing, man. Make sure if you guys are in the area, get those tickets, man. Let's go out here. Let's support these guys, man, because they put in a lot of good work. And I know my man right here is ready to show out, man.
Yeah, bro, I'm ready. I can't wait, man.
Yeah. So I want to ask you about the you've been pretty inactive, man, the last couple of years. But I gotta say, man, after watching your last fight against what was his name? Geez, I can't remember your opponent's name, but it did not seem to affect your performance at all, man.
Yeah.
I mean, is ring rust a thing for you or not?
I didn't feel no ring rust. I wasn't worried about it before the fight. I think that's just more like if it's on your head and if you're not active in the gym. I'm in the gym all year, man. 365 days out of the year I'm in the gym. So I feel like that helped a lot. I'm always sparring. Even when I don't have a fight schedule, I'm just always working out, and I'm always, you know, taming my craft to be better and wanting to be better every day. So I feel like it's not a thing if you believe in it and if you're not working and just sitting down on your ass.
Yeah, no, man, you definitely are, man. Like I said, I followed you on the social media and stuff, and I always see you, man, working and stuff. So yeah, you're right, man. It definitely did not affect your performance at all. I mean, I'm really surprised the guy went 9 rounds the way that you were, the way
Yeah,
that
for
you were
sure.
hitting him, man. Like,
Yeah,
and the frustration too, because it was very difficult for him to even touch you with a good clean punch.
yeah.
So great performance, man. I enjoyed it. We got some guys in the chat that are from the local area as well. I know they want to tune in again, guys. He's going to be fighting May 13th, ESPN in Stockton. Get those tickets, man. Let's get out there. Let's support these guys. A lot of regional fighters on the card. I want to talk to you a little bit about your style, right? You're a southpaw, and southpaws sometimes can be very tricky on orthodox fighters. Now, on this channel, I call it the southpaw advantage that southpaws have over orthodox fighters. So, without going into too much detail, let the fans know. I like to educate the fans. I like to get it from the people that actually executed in the ring. But talk about some of the advantages that southpaws have over the orthodox fighter in a fight.
Yeah, well, I feel like for me, I'm naturally a right-handed, so my jab is strong because I'm naturally right-handed and I throw a lot of jabs. I'm always in the pocket and I'm able to hit and not get hit while being in the pocket. So we work a lot on that, a lot of feet movement, a lot of angles, and just just being smart. And my defense is my offense, so that's a lot of things that we work in the gym a lot.
Nice. Okay, so you're naturally a righty. That's
Yeah.
yeah, that's I notice a lot of orthodox fighters too that have good lead hands are naturally lefties too. Like I know some of the famous ones like Miguel Cotto. I know that he was naturally a lefty, Oscar De La Hoya as well, and he had that great jab, that all-time great jab of his and left hook. We have a question here from the chat. My man Santiago Media here. He says he wants to know how's the access to the top ranked gym in Las Vegas and your sparring and coaching. If you want to answer that question.
As far as access, you kind of have to know someone to be able to go in the gym and get some work in. But since I just signed this multi-fight deal with Top Rank, I'm able to go in there and get some work with whoever's there, or the main guy who runs it, Frank. Will kind of just set up sparring for us. We had a couple of guys here at training camp. We have a 154, 119 pounder. So if we need certain guys or certain weights, he'll just make his connects and then come back to us, and then that's how we usually get our work.
All right, yeah, man. Now I want to ask you, kind of want to go back a little bit. Your amateur career, you have a deep amateur pedigree, man. I believe you were a two-time national Golden Gloves champion, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah, you've also famously, this has been said a lot on a lot of cards that you fought on. You fought Shakur Stevenson, I believe, a total of 4 times, and you guys are 2-2, right?
Yeah, yeah, 2-2.
Yeah, so you have some great amateur experience, man. So I like to ask these questions to fighters that have that kind of amateur background. What is it like making that transition from fighting in those type of tournaments, because those are very competitive tournaments, and then winning them, and then transitioning your style over to the pro style?
Yeah, I feel like it did take me a couple of fights and to fight professionally to like get that amateur kind of out of you, where it's more like points and it's da 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 da. And compared to pro, like you could get hurt and you want to hurt somebody. The gloves are way smaller. You ain't got no headgear on, and like you said, beating guys like Shakur, like Devin Haney, I feel like that helped boost my confidence and wanting to turn pro. And just beating guys like that really like made me think I could do this for a living or as a profession. And yeah, it helped me a lot in the professional rankings.
Yeah, and Shoe Shine, my man here, he's from San Jose. He's asking a question. That's actually a question that I was going to ask him later. So uh, we'll go back to that. But you mentioned some names again. We know obviously the big one, Shakur Stevenson, a guy who's getting a lot of publicity right now under Top Rank. Devin Haney, you named off. Now we just had a big fight a couple weeks ago. Ryan Garcia versus Tank Davis. Did you see Ryan Garcia in the amateurs at all? I know he's a California guy as well.
Yeah, we were always like the Silver Gloves. It's a big national tournament where all the guys, mostly from California, they end up on a team together. He was always maybe a weight class above me, so I got to hang around him a lot and just kind of grew up like that around him like that.
Now, in your expert opinion, right? Because you're a professional fighter, there's been a lot of fans that have said that he really hasn't kind of made the full transition from an amateur style to a professional style. Now, after watching his last fight with Tank Davis, a lot of people mentioned that. They said he still fights like an amateur. Would you agree with that, or do you disagree?
Um, I wouldn't say an amateur, but I feel like he did rely on that left hook mainly as like his main source of like trying to knock out Tank pretty much. But I don't feel like he fights like an amateur technically, and no, I don't feel like he fights like that. It's more like pity pads and like just a lot of speed, a lot of more punches instead of him. He's really trying to knock those guys out. He has a good amount of knockouts, so it's not like he's just throwing a bunch of punches and stuff like that. So no, I don't feel like he has the amateur.
Okay, yeah. So no, I agree with you, man. I feel like there's been a lot of people that have been pretty harsh on Ryan after the fight. Um but I'll ask you this, man. Now he was in there with a guy who we know has tremendous power in Tank Davis. Um now I'm not going to ask you specifics, but when you're facing a guy that got a reputation with that kind of power, what would be one of the things that you would have to adjust to your style to try to avoid getting hit with a big shot like he did?
Well, yeah, like you said, Tank's a tremendous power puncher. I feel like just trying to throw him off his game, probably be on your back foot a little more until later in the rounds where he's probably not as strong or as aggressive. But yeah, just using my jab a lot and just just playing it safe and until it's time to feel like where I feel like I could maybe take a punch or two and I got to win these rounds. So it really just depends on who it is and kind of the game plan of the guy.
Okay, yeah, yeah, man. Good. That's good stuff there, bro. Yeah, Tank, he's a dangerous guy, man. He's got the kind of power that, if he could land one punch, it could change the fight or even end it. So
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah, credit to Ryan and those guys, man, for putting on him and Tank putting on a big show for boxing. Boxing really needs those kind of events these days, man.
Yeah, for
So salute to
sure.
those guys. Now I want to ask you about a couple questions about your fight with Emmanuel Navarrete back in 2020. Now, I don't know if you remember this, but I was a part of a podcast at the time, and we had you on, I think, a couple weeks before that fight. And that was right in the middle of the pandemic with COVID-19. Um, what was that like training during that time and then going into the bubble there in Las Vegas? What was that? Was it just strange or how did it affect you in any way, do you think?
I don't feel like it affected me, but it was a little weird, something you had to adjust to. Um, we weren't able to go out to training camp because of COVID, and then also, in my part of California, there was all those bad fires going on, so we would run outside, and the cloud was like
That's
orange,
right.
red, so it was always hard to like kind of just everything was just pretty much against me, bro. But I didn't feel like it was an excuse. What had happened with the fight, it was nothing to affect me. Only thing is probably maybe the sparring or the training camp. Just I had to stay home and have a couple of guys come in from places. So yeah, I mean it was just weird being in the bubble, not having an audience. It was just maybe like workers, people who fought already, just a couple little things. But I don't feel like it affected me too much on the fight.
Okay. Now, Navarrete is a guy who's known for his wild, crazy, very unorthodox style, man.
Yeah.
Um, I know a lot of his opponents have talked about that after they fought him. Going into that fight, what kind of sparring were you getting to kind of prepare you? I mean, I know there's nobody that really fights like this guy because he's so unorthodox, but did you really have to mix it up a lot to try to uh combat his style in the actual fight?
Yeah, we did. We had one guy who was pretty aggressive. We had another guy who was kind of skinny and linky, and then we had another guy who would just kind of come in and throw a lot of punches. So we did the best we could with finding sparring or people who could fight like that. But like you said, his punches just so weird and just you just never see punches like that before. And I feel like I learned a lot from that loss, and it made me hungry and it made me really want to get better in a way and just motivationally like just put me on another level. So ever since then, man, I just been working my ass off.
Oh, I love that. I love hearing that, man, because here on this channel, I always try to get this out to the fans. I say, look, if a fighter takes a loss, we can't just throw him away like he's nothing anymore. I like to see how fighters bounce back from a loss, how they adjust or anything like that after a loss. And I feel like again, after watching your last fight, seemed like it didn't affect you at all. I mean, that's just my opinion, but you look like the same Ruben Villa that I had seen before the loss to Navarrete. But now that you're on Top Rank, he's on Top Rank. Now I know he moved up to 130, and he didn't look so hot in his last fight.
Mhm.
Possible rematch, man? Is that on your radar while you're here with Top Rank?
Yeah, I want to avenge that loss, man.
Yeah.
Um, just a few minor adjustments I needed to make. I feel like it was a little early in my career, but the chance came, and I remember Jesse Magdaleno was supposed to fight him and fall out, and we were up next on the WBO rankings. And I at the time I believed, I could beat this guy. I could, really try to win this bout, and it might have been a little too early, but now after a loss, I feel like just kind of pissed me off, and now I know certain things or how to adjust with certain things. I just learned more about myself.
Oh, dude, I love hearing that, man. Like, I could just feel that competitive spirit coming out of you, man. Like, yeah, he might have got me, but I need to get him back. And in my opinion, I actually scored that fight. Now, some people might disagree with me, but I actually scored that fight 6 rounds apiece for both of you. It was the two knockdowns that, on my card gave it to him. But I do feel like you were starting to figure something out late in that fight, man. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Once I started, getting in my rhythm, boxing, using my jab, I started feeling like I was getting those holes. It's just those two knockdowns messed up, the scorecards. But like I said, I learned a lot from it, and just take what I learned and move on to the next fight or whoever's coming in front of me. I just can't wait to show May 13th, man.
Oh, I know, man. And then I'm gonna be there. And again, all of you guys that are watching, you should be there as well. I know there's a lot of guys here that are watching live that are in the area, man. So let's get those tickets if you haven't got them already. Again, March 13th at the Stockton Arena. Now, you're in a division, featherweight division, 126 pounds, stacked division. In my opinion, it's my favorite division. A lot of fights there. And they're all over the place. There's a bunch of fighters on Top Rank, bunch of fighters on the Zone, bunch of fighters on PBC. So I want to start with some of the guys that are in your division that are signed in the same promotional banner as you. Like Joet Gonzalez is a guy that I think man, I would make a sensational fight, you and him. There's two champions. Robesi Ramirez just won the WBO over Isaac Dogbe. Two good fighters there. And then a champion who you've already beat before, which is my man Shushan asked a question earlier about possibly fighting Luis Alberto Lopez again now that he's a champion. Which guy, which champion, I should say, would you be targeting first? Would it be Robesi or would it be Luis Alberto Lopez?
I wouldn't mind fighting Lopez again. We had a good fight a few years back. I had beat him for the. It was one of those WBO international titles. It
Yeah.
was a good fight. I felt like I learned a lot from that fight too. He was just so wild and just. I never fought someone like that as wild and just aggressive in a way. But it was fun. I wouldn't mind doing it again and taking this bout.
Yeah, I feel like he's a little unorthodox too. He's not as wild as the Navarrete, but yeah, his style is definitely kind of tricky. I felt like you put on a really good performance against him. I even feel the same about Andy Vences, who's from San Jose, who had a really close fight with him as well.
Mhm.
But he came up short in that fight. But man, I would love to see you fight Hoet as well. I feel like that would be a really, really good fight between you two guys. Man, I'm just so glad that you're on Top Rank now, bro, so that everybody can see
Yeah, hell yeah,
the type of talent you have, bro, because you really do have some good boxing skills, man. Um, Here's kind of my last question, man. I'll let you go again. We're getting close to 20 minutes, and I know you're in the middle of training camp. You got a big fight coming up. But I want to ask you about this. This is another reason why I wanted to get you on the channel. You and Jose Ramirez are two guys that I fully support, man. And not just because of what you guys do in the ring, but because of what you guys do outside of the ring. I seen recently that you guys were doing some stuff out in the community, right? Recently.
yeah.
Talk a little bit about that. Let us know about that.
Yeah, so with all the rains going on in Central California, maybe like a month or two ago, in Pajaro, California, Watsonville, there was a lot of floodings, a lot of damage. The fields were damaged, houses were damaged. We had went to a trailer park where it was pretty bad. They said the water was up to like the windows, which was a good 4 to 5 feet high, and they had to go to like shelters. And we just went over there to kind of just cause awareness, have people donate, have people just help out with the people who were affected by the floods.
That's great stuff, man. And yeah, here in California, we have been dealing with a drought for many years, and this winter we got a lot of rain. Even in my area, there was people being evacuated. There was even some people that got caught in a flood, and they drowned actually. So yeah, some unfortunate things happened, but that's great, man, to hear that you and Jose are out there bringing awareness to certain things. And also, I seen in your last fight you had some symbols and things on your shorts that represent the Salinas area and the agriculture there, man. Is that something that you do as well out there? You can bring awareness to that?
Yeah, for sure. Salinas is pretty much surrounded by fields and agricultural. So yeah, that's always something we always put on the trunks, and just show my love and my support to my community, man.
That's great, man. I love that. When my family came to this state back in like the 1930s, I want to say, that's where they worked, man. They worked all through Central California in the agriculture, in produce, picking produce and stuff, man. And in the 60s and the 70s, very heavily involved in the UWF movement for the United Farm Workers. So when I see you and Jose bringing awareness to those sort of things, man, really does hit home with me, man. And I want to say thanks for doing your part, man. It really is great.
Yeah, for sure. My grandpa same. He worked in the fields, and that shit is not easy, man. I never done it, but I could tell you that shit is not easy. So, just showing my support to them.
That's great, man. That is great. Well, that's all the questions I got, man. But I want to give you the last word here. I want you to, tell the fans any last message you want about the fight. Let them know where they can find you on social media, and then we'll let you get back, man, to your day.
Yeah, just tune in ESPN May 13th in Stockton, California. If not, get your tickets and come out and show some support and some love. I really just can't wait to perform and show you guys what I've been working on. Man, I'm hungry.
Oh, yes, yes, indeed, man. I can't wait to see it. Because again, you're a hidden gem, man. You are definitely a hidden gem, and you're gonna put it on full display, man. May 13th, Ruben, and as well as your manager Sam. Appreciate you guys for giving me the time, and hey, good luck March 13th, man. I mean May 13th. I will be there, man, watching.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
No problem, brother. Guys, Ruben Villa, let's give him a hand on his way out. Appreciate you, man. Have a good rest of your day. Wow, great interview, man. And again, I love talking to these guys that put in the work in their community as well, man. That hits home with me. And I know a lot of you Chicanos here in Central and Northern California can relate to that as well. Thank all you guys. I want to thank all you guys for being here live. Appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the like button. Share this if you can. And again, May 13th, Stockton, California. Ruben Villa will be on the card. Joe Sean James from Sacramento will be on the card. Gabe Flores from Stockton will be on the card. Armando Vargas has been added to that card. And then, of course, the main event, Johnny Beck, the quote-unquote boogeyman of the middleweight division. If you're in the area, please get your tickets, man. Let's support our local fighters. Let's show them some love. Let's bring boxing back to the glory days, guys. All right. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. I'm out.